Oui, oui, Marie, then I'll do that for you.
Hey guys, it's Blockade. What is up? Today I wanted to talk about Verdun, the Verdun beta, and my impressions of it. And so far, I have played about 10 hours of it. You know, I'm not a seasoned vet of this game, but I will say that I have really enjoyed my time with Verdun, and I look forward to enjoying future times with Verdun and enjoying Verdun on into the future, off into the sunset, whatever. I really am enjoying Verdun because it captures the essence of World War I amazingly. It's impressive because when you think of World War I, what do you think of? You think of trenches, you know, gas warfare maybe, you think of war attrition, maybe some mud, you maybe think of stuff like artillery, you know, cool stuff like that that really bring to mind, you know, World War I. And when you play Verdun, a lot of this is brought to mind when you play, such as the main game mode called Trench Warfare, where basically the goal is to attack a trench, defend a trench, attack a trench, defend a trench, and essentially it's this like tug-of-war push and pull game mode that's a lot like the actual warfare that took place in World War I. Granted, none of us were there, none of us know what it was actually like, and granted it was probably a lot more stalemated, as there were times that neither army even gained a meter, you know, over the course of a week, losing tens of thousands of men. But ultimately, it captures the essence of trench warfare. You know, you feel that fear and excitement men in World War I might have felt, you know, when they finally got to jump over the top and charge into the other person's trench, besides, you know, when they got mowed down by the machine gunner in the first second of leaving the trench and didn't even make it out of the trench. Besides that, I mean, you really get to experience this thing that's not, you know, common in other games, and it's sort of like, you know, when you play Call of Duty, there's no real teamwork. You know, Battlefield, you could say there is, but there really isn't unless you have a dedicated squad of 4. But in Verdun, you can really coordinate with a team. You know, I mean, you could in Battlefield too, but the way the battle is set up, you know, in lines, it allows you to choose, hey, we're going to attack the right flank, and you can tell the whole team that, and everybody might go to the right, and then you charge into the trench to the right flank, and then you have all your guys in the trench, you're all fighting it out, and you take them out. You know, it's like that. It's got a lot of that teamwork that you can use to overtake these pretty well defensible positions, and I really like how much it feels like I would assume World War I would feel like. You know, for example, you're in the trench, you know, right? Your officer told you you have to defend, and what do? You defend. You await the oncoming onslaught, knowing that, you know, maybe there is a more favorable position for you to be stationed. Maybe there is a more favorable place for you to be shooting the enemies from. But you do it anyway because your officer told you to, and if you get shot, you know, that's just World War I, you know, that just happens. So it's really cool how, like, you just poke your head a little bit over the top of the trench, you get sniped. It's really cool how, you know, when you run across the battlefield charging the trench, you every moment feel like you could get shot at or sniped, and you know, jump from foxhole to foxhole. That's what I do, at least, because that's what's most immersive and most fun for me, is I jump from foxhole to foxhole, and then, like, maybe you pop up out of the foxhole, you know, prone, try to shoot somebody, then you get a bunch of bullets flying at you, and they're bouncing off the ground, they're skipping off rocks, and you're like, holy crap, and then you get back into your foxhole, and you just wait for your team to come along and start pushing, and then you get up and start running with your team, and you get into the trench, and you start, you know, shooting down the corridors, and it's really awesome how it's got that combination of wide open gameplay experience along with the corridor shooter aspects of something like Call of Duty. It's a really good hybrid of the two, and although it's not as polished as Battlefield or Call of Duty at this point, at some point when it's finally released, it'll be adequately polished to a point where it will really feel like its own complete experience. Right now it's in beta, so I mean, you're buying early access and it's not going to be perfect, you have to expect that, but it is still really, really enjoyable when you play. Even though it's in beta, I rarely sit there and go, well, I just died because of this beta issue. No, I really enjoy the game, and I don't get upset when I die in it, and that's ultimately one of the key reasons why I love this game so much, is because myself understanding World War I in the background of the war, when I get spawn killed, or if I get killed immediately after jumping out into the open, I say, okay, World War I was crazy. You could die anyway. So I don't get so upset about that, because, you know, people got killed in the trench that they were, while they were sleeping by mortars. You know, it's something that happens in war. So, I mean, I don't think, I mean, obviously spawn killing is a big issue, but I never really get mad at the game when I die like I would, say, in Call of Duty or Battlefield, and that's really relaxing for me. And as weird as it is to say, this World War I shooter is much more relaxing than all the other shooters I've played, and it's really, really enjoyable. And I think if you guys are looking for an enjoyable PC shooter, I mean, buy Verdun. You know, I really, really enjoyed this game, and I hope to continue to enjoy this game, and I really hope to help this game build its community and get more followers, because I know how hard it is for indie developers. Being a game design student myself, I've grown to realize and appreciate more the struggle of an independent developer. The more I try to make my own games, the more I try to make my own art, I realize how difficult it is, and the fact that this team was able to pull this game off with using the Unity engine, it must have taken them a lot of time. Their programmers must be very talented, and I really look forward to seeing what the future will hold for this game, and I'm really hoping that this game will be a success. And it can't be a success without, you know, some guys who really like it, like me. So hopefully I convince some of you guys to buy Verdun. If not, I hope my gameplay convinced you, and if not, I hope that you someday consider buying Verdun, and maybe when it comes on sale, buying it, you know. But, I mean, if you really want it now, it's totally justified to purchase it for the $15 to $20. I'm not exactly sure the exact price point at this point, maybe $17, $18. It's totally worth that money to buy it right now, and I've not regretted my purchase one bit. So, until next time, I will see you all later.
Falcon Punch!